Caw, caw. Hey guys, sorry I'm running late. Sorry about the earlier stream. I like to keep people on their toes, but I'm just getting ready for to start this one. I'm always running late. You guys know the drill. 1 second, just getting my shit in order to see if the notification actually goes out. And I apologize for the earlier stream that I had scheduled and did not show up for. I was freaking cranky pants. Nobody wants to see me like that. Nobody wants to deal with me like that. It's not my birthday yet. Thank you, though. It's on Monday. But it's kind of the first birthday I've actually even acknowledged in many years. So I'm kind of looking forward to it for some reason. I don't know why, because all it means is I'm older. um, Oops. Whoopsie. Hit the wrong button. You know how it goes. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna wait a second, see if the notification goes out. I don't know if anybody else is live right now. That's something I probably should have checked before I started this one, but I wanted to come out here, catch up with you guys, fill you in on some updates, and just shoot the shit and have some laughs, as we do. So give me a couple minutes. I have a couple of surprises planned. Hi, Charles. How are you? That I would like to share with you guys. Let's see here. Hey, Maddie, how's it going, buddy? I'm still waiting on that live stream, yo. I don't know what's going on over there, Maddie Marinera, but I'm going to come there and make you go live. Hi, Edwin. How are you? Thank you very much. Edwin is a class act. So there's a couple things that I would like to talk about. Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate that. The first thing I would like to address is leave Edwin alone. He is like the nicest person on this platform. He has done nothing to anyone, nothing but respectful. In fact, he is one of those like people that I actually genuinely feel sorry that I swear like a truck driver. I'm not. That is the worst thing about me though, but I know that he is so polite and so religious and so you know what I mean? He's just a good person and I apologize if swearing makes me a bad person, but that's the worst thing I do. But I do always feel guilty doing that in Edwin's company. And the fact that people, I'm going to say people, have attacked his character and integrity is a way to get on every single person on YouTube's bad side. Now, I don't know if people understand the gravity of what that means yet because they're still rookies figuring their way around in the sandbox. But let me break it down for you to try and help somebody who doesn't realize the mistakes that they're making. And I don't even know why I'm doing this because, quite honestly, I like to see people fall on their face. But when you start involving innocent people into your immature, childish games and whatever it is you're trying to accomplish out here, you're failing epically. So if that was your goal, was to come out here and have a train wreck right in front of everybody, you're doing a great job of it. So continue what you're doing. We all know who I'm talking about. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Well, actually, no, I have one more thing to say about that. I actually went up on Angel's panel to say, not that I knew the guy and I wasn't defending him, but I was like, can you imagine being like somebody who is new to YouTube and just walking in to the middle of this mess and trying to figure out who's who, what's what, where you can go, where it's safe to land, where, you know what I mean? Like who's going to guide you in the right direction. And then when people actually go out of their way to help us, a random stranger that none of us actually know, and then they turn around and spit in your face, not only is that like the biggest level of disrespect I've ever seen, but now I want you to fail because it's happening. So keep doing what you're doing because you've got that mastered. If failure was your goal, you've got that covered. So let's just laugh at people when they're too stupid to help themselves or to take people's words of wisdom, and if you think it's an angle or an agenda or something, dude, you haven't even been out here long enough to know what the fuck is Trump yet. So if you don't listen to people, then again, we're all gonna laugh at you when you fall. And I don't know who said it, but I heard somebody say within the last couple of days that this is the only subject in years that I can think of that everybody is united and feels the same way about. So we're all laughing at you. It's like a train wreck. You can't unturn your head. You have to watch it happen. So, you know, why bother trying to get people on the right path when they insist on staying lost? It just makes for good YouTube TV, right? That's what we do. So that's the one thing I have to say before we get on to the fun stuff. The second thing I want to say is I heard Angel and Marla the other day speaking, and like we all know what's going on with that. Like, I mean, Stevie Wonder can see what's going on here. It's like the low level bottom feeder channels use her name for content, clicks, views, because they don't have the talent to run a show without tearing others down. And let me just explain what YouTube was supposed to be intended for. It was supposed to be intended for a social media platform to come out here and meet like-minded people, find your friends, and build communities of support and like-minded people that share the same kind of, you know, morals, sense of humor. Mine's sick and twisted. There's not many people that can match that, but if you can, kudos to you. And you know, that sort of thing. But what it has become in the last couple of years, well, actually several years, because this has been going on for a long time. This is no new news to me. I'll tell you that right now. Now, bear with me for a moment because I'm going to change my location, which you're not going to see because I'm not turning my camera on yet. But give me 1 second to get everything organized, and then I will turn my camera on and I'll share something, a couple things with you guys. So give me a sec. Gotta move because I'm going to do something that needs space. So I hope I don't trip over anything. It's very fucking dark out here. 1 second. Don't you guys wish you could see what I'm doing right now? 1 sec. Takes a couple trips. I always have so much stuff to carry. So what it has become in recent years is a platform to bash others, to make other people feel better about themselves for whatever reason. And when you need to tear others down to build yourself up, that shows me it actually says a lot more about you than you even understand. It tells me that you are the low level bottom feeder and you are the one who has issues and you feel better by making other people look bad. But in my opinion, none of that works. It all backfires on you. You look like the idiot that you are. So that's that. 1 second. Last trip. Just get in my chair. Okay. So next thing, what else do we want to talk about? Loyalty. I'm going to share a video because I came across the video. I put it as a short. I thought it was very bang on. And then we're going to go from there. So let's let the show begin. Okay, 1 second. Hey, Chris Truck, I haven't seen you in ages. I thought you were mad at me or something. I haven't seen you forever. Okay, so 1 second. Let me see. How do I do this? 1 second. Dun, dun, dun. 1 sec. Here we go. 1 sec. Let's play a little video. Yeah, here we go.
You are not loyal if you let somebody sit around you and talk about your friend and all you did was listen. What you should have said is, that's my friend. I'm going to tell him exactly what you said. And you lucky you still got teeth in your mouth because the way we roll, see, y'all ain't loyal. Y'all will listen to anybody say anything about anybody. And then when you get around and talking about, see, that's what I was saying. You didn't say nothing. All you did was give your earrings. Where is the loyalty? Where is the trustworthiness? Where is the stuff that if we spend time together, where is it that I know I got somebody protecting me outside of my presence? Where are the loyal people?
Now, where are all the loyal people? I couldn't have said it better myself. And I think people should watch that more often, because there's a lot to be said about loyalty. And I despise treachery. of any kind, especially from those that were supposed to have your back. And hang on one sec. Where's Mr. Smith? Is he in here? Carrying his luggage. Is that kids? Because I call kids luggage. Is that bad? But I don't have any, so it is what it is. Now, as I get my surprise ready to share with you guys, whoops. Let me get it ready because it takes a couple minutes to prepare. But I will show you in 1 second what I would like to share with you guys. Wait, what? Not many have this as a model of life. Well, those are people that I don't allow in my life then. Because I've had to modify my meaning of loyalty over the years. And what I used to think it meant was loyal to the death and beyond, to the point that it actually was detrimental to my own well-being. Because I thought that that's what loyalty meant. You can hear me opening something, but you don't get to see it yet. It's all a surprise. Okay, hang on. But now I've learned what loyalty really means, and it's having a pair of testicles. It's having a backbone. It's being true to yourself and to others. It is having a moral compass. It's it's not being a sellout. It's not changing who you are because other people don't agree or they think a certain type of way. You know what? That's a you problem. That's not my problem. I've never been a follower in this life. I don't understand people who are. I think you're weak. I think you are a soy boy. I have no respect for people like that. And when I see people bend knees to others for the wrong reasons, any respect that I once had is no longer there. So that's just my opinion. Who the hell am I? I'm just a Canadian, yo. So 1 second, I'm getting things ready. I apologize if it's noisy in the background because I know my phone likes to pick up background noises. And now I have to figure out how I'm going to friggin' turn this camera on and get it going in the right direction. So how do I do that? Let's see here. 1 second. I might have to actually leave the studio to do this. I don't know. Hang on. Let me see. Wait, oops. I don't know what I did there. Undo that. Uh-oh. Whoops. Cancel. I don't know what I did. Okay, so add. Whoops. Cancel. Oh, good idea. Oh, here we go. Okay. But now the question is, I don't know which way it's pointing. If I get kicked out, I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. Hang on. Did it work? Nope. Of course it didn't. Okay. So, here we go. 1 second. Bear with me. We're gonna call it Kim Missed the Tripping. Call it Kim Missed the Tripping Part Show. We'll stay around long enough. You never know what happens. I don't even know half the time. Okay, so now you're staring at the black, right? 1 second. Now, I don't know if you can see me because I can't see you guys right now because I got myself away from the camera. But you know what these are. You've seen me light them before, but they're very cool. And I want to light one. And it's good to just let things go. That's the lesson that I'm teaching you guys now is the best lesson is letting go. And if I hadn't known that, I would have did this years ago, but I have literally aged myself before my time because of what I thought loyalty meant. And that's not what it means. It doesn't mean, oh, I just put a hole in this. I hope it'll still work. I hope that doesn't screw things up, but let's see what happens. It might not work, but if it doesn't, I got another one in the house. So don't worry about that. I put a hole in it. Oops. That happens sometimes, but we'll see what happens if it works or not. I don't know. I can't see the chat right now. I don't even know if you could see me in the camera. I should have kind of checked that part out first, but you know me. On the fly. How we do. And it's always, it's better to smoke a joint while you do this, and it's legal in Canada, so don't come at me. Hang on. So now what you got to do, if it works, because I did put a hole in it, is you have to let this bad boy fill up with some air, right? And then it takes off like a bat out of hell. And whenever I release these, I let go of anything that's weighing me down with it. And it's a cathartic way to physically watch yourself letting things go. I've done these for many people in honor of dead loved ones, but now this one is going to be in honor of all of those who are living. Because why keep celebrating death when we have one life to live, and I've been wasting too much time on stuff that I can't change. So the moral of the story is, I'm good. I might have to change the name of my channel from Kim's Trippin' to Kim's Good. But what fun would that be? Okay, I can tell it's getting ready. Oh, see, it's filling up. Now I can leave it sitting here for a second, and then it'll just lift on its own like fucking magic. Oh, almost ready for takeoff. This is like watching the rocket launch. Rocket launch. Get it? Haha. Mr. Smith, are you here? Do you get it? Oh, I really think I really think I'm hilarious. I don't know about you guys, but there's very few people I find funnier than myself. That's a good thing. We all need to laugh at ourselves, don't we? And if you can't laugh at yourself, you call me. I have no problem laughing at you. All right. So I don't know if it's going to work because I burned a hole in it. So it might not want to leave the ground. Stay. Don't stay. You're trapped here. Fly like the wind, man. Yeah, I have a feeling I might have fucked it up because I put my thumb through it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You never know with these things. I've lit these off, yo, and they've ended up on people's houses and in trees and shit. Like they're non-flammable. Don't worry. Don't come at me. Okay. Oh, maybe. Let's see what happens. Looks like something's happening. Normally this would be up in the air by now, but I put a hole in it. That's what I do. Now it's not going to work just because I saved it for this time. See what happens when you plan things? See what happens when Kim's Trippin' plans things? Doesn't work out. Oh, there we go, bitch. There we go, bitch. Okay, let it go. Ta-da! It worked. It went. It's off like a Jewish foreskin. I don't know if you guys can still see it. Swear at it. That's hilarious. Hey, Seymour, how's it going, bud? I don't know if you guys could still see that. I wish I could zoom in, but you don't have proper control of your camera when it's on StreamYards, but I can see it very well from here. I don't know if you can see it. But if you can, they go pretty friggin' far, man. It's pretty cool. You can still see it? That's awesome. Because I have a little tiny ass screen that I'm looking at with my fucking 80-year-old eyes. And I have my glass. I can't see far away with my glasses on. Not that's only for up close. So, all right. So hang on one second. Now I gotta switch my camera around. So I might kick myself out again, but because it doesn't let you do it, I don't think when you're on line. Oops. Okay, just a sec. All right. So here I am. Let's see. Hang on. Why is that screen so damn small? Why does it look so small? Come on now. Here we go. Right? No? I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay. So can't see the chat though. Oh well. Where'd the chat go? Sorry, you guys. Retarded. Okay, hang on. Exit full screen. There we go. Whoops. Okay, hang on. $50 says my eyes are worse than yours. Oh, you think so? Listen, I'm friggin' I don't want to tell you my age. Guess. But I literally have the eyes of a fucking 80-year-old. And I need surgery. I'm not kidding. I have, well, first they told me I had glaucoma, cataracts, and some other bullshit with your optic eye fluid, which made no sense to me because they were saying it was like a pancake, which makes zero sense. I don't even eat pancakes, so I really don't know what they were talking about. So I had to go to a specialist, and for whatever reason, I have no idea why. I don't know if it's like hereditary because I'm adopted, so I don't really know my genetics that well. But apparently I have cataracts, which is so unusual for someone my age. So they put me at the top of the list for surgery, which is coming in on November. And then the second one is in December. So I will have perfect vision by Christmas. But they put me at the top of the list because it's very unusual for someone my age to have it. And they said from what they can see, they won't know. Sorry, car going by. So they said from what they can see, it doesn't look like there's anything to worry about, but she won't know until she gets in behind the eye. But she's like, I know you worry, and I know you were told some bad news from the doctor or whatever, who was an idiot, and I should go and flatten his tires for taking years off my life that I can't afford to spare. But it turns out that I only have cataracts, which is easy to fix. Glaucoma was the one I was worried about because that's the one that you go blind from, and there's nothing that they can do to stop the damage. There's things that they can do to prolong it, so you have your vision. But if your eyes have already been destroyed because of it, then there's nothing that they can do to stop that. And that was terrifying to me because my license is like my freedom, and if I couldn't drive again, like nobody's driving Miss Daisy around, okay? Like. And if you haven't had the pleasure of driving with me, ask my friends because it's like I scream at everybody. I yell at them like I cannot handle being stuck behind a bad driver, and I will let them know that I think they're a bad driver. So yeah, let me know if that beats your eye situation because I'm not 80. I'll tell you that. Okay. And my 80-year-old friends that I made in the office, were like, are you waiting for your grandma in here? And I'm like, no, I'm not. What's happening here? Why does it look like this? I don't understand. There. Okay, so I'm leaving my glasses off. Okay, my eyes are fucked, but you win. But I'm poor and don't have $50. And I'm sorry, your eyes are that fucked. Well, you know what? So am I, but it's almost gonna be done with. So whatever it is. But what took me there in the first place, I knew my eyes were bad to begin with because I knew I needed, like, I only need glasses for reading. But like I was getting like migraines in my freaking eye, and I'm like, what the hell is that? That's not normal. So I'm thinking, okay, I just need new glasses, right? And I went there, and then, well, you guys seen the video of Dr. Walmart and how that news broke, and it didn't go down well. So then, basically, what happened is I forgot when my appointment was, so I just made up a day in my mind, and I went in and I sat down in the office and I said, okay, I'm here. How about, oh, my appointment isn't for another month and a half. Well, since I'm here, can you take me in? And they did. So that's a little workaround through the healthcare system, is that if you hear some bad news and they're like, you got to wait 4 months to find out what's going on. Listen to this though. My sister-in-law told me this story, and I don't know who this person was in relation to her, but apparently they're in their 80s, like everybody else that gets this shit. And they said that their surgery wasn't for like 5 months, right? And he's like, well, if I can go to another hospital and find somebody that'll do it sooner, can I do that? And they're like, yeah, you can, but in 5 months you're going to be blind. I was like, oh my God. Now he's 80. That's a different story altogether, you know? Hey, Teresa, but I'd like to ride with you and get stoned and watch you yell at people. Well, fuck. I'm sure there's a video on here. Fuck. Oh, maybe on my other channels that you can't find anymore because they get deleted because Canadians are afraid of the truth and they like to censor it. Okay. I'm allergic to lies, so we are not the same. Okay. But you can watch me get stoned and I can sit here and yell at whoever. Give me a subject. I'll yell. I'm just being quiet right now because, well, there's still people outside, right? Not that they haven't heard me yelling a million times out here at them or at the phone or at my dog. It's just a thing. Like, and it's funny because I actually know my neighbor back there. He actually sold me my house, which is funny. But hey, Kremel. Hey, everybody I missed in the chat because I can't see it very well. I need binocs, okay? What else did I want to talk about? There was something else I wanted to talk about too. I was trying to upload another video to the back part of StreamYards and it didn't work for whatever reason. But leave Edwin alone and leave Angel Gotti alone. Especially if you're a man and you're picking on these people. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Trust me when I tell you, you don't want to be on my bad side, okay? Ask any of these people. Ask anybody who's seen my bad side. Would they want to be on it? Do you think you'd want to be on it? Because I know myself and I know I wouldn't want to be on it. So be nice or regret your consequences, okay? And may God be with you. Okay, I can't see. Hi, Teresa Murphy. How are you? Hi, Kremel. I'm surprised you're up, Kremel. Isn't it early, late, another day where you are? I'm not sure. But good to see you. Kaka, I see you. Who is it? Susie, bitch. You want to come up? Oh my God. My girl Susie. We've only been trying to do a live stream for, I don't know, 6 months now. But don't feel bad, Suze. I'm such a fucking bitch. But yeah, if you want to get your ass up here, I'd be more than happy to have you. And like we could tell some stories that would make these people's jaws drop, okay? And like I said before, the best things in life for me are unplanned because when I plan shit, I miss it. What does that say? Oh, you're laughing at me? Oops. Total mayhem. Look what happened. Look what happened. I got very excited. I kicked the fucking thing. Wait a minute. Is that the right way? Just a minute. Sorry, you guys. Look what happened. That's hilarious. You got me so excited to see you. I kicked the fucking stand that my phone's standing on and I dropped it. Look what happens, Susie, when you come around. See? Such an idiot. Okay. Doing well. See more. So I can't at the moment. I'm dealing with a motherfucker. Oh, do I need to talk about somebody on here? You give me the name. Let's talk about it. She's had a hell of a time, my friend Susie. Okay. And she doesn't want to talk about it because she doesn't want to ruffle feathers, but I don't mind ruffling feathers. In fact, it's my favorite fucking thing to do. Because if you're in the wrong, everybody's so quick to point out my faults. So I love when I get the opportunity to do it to other people. So let me tell you just a brief synopsis of her story. And I'm not going to name names or disclose too much information, but I want you people to understand what this poor woman has been dealing with and how much of a fucking saint she is. She needs the halo, okay? I have the horns, okay? I can go get them if you really want me to. But she's got a serious health issue that she was recently diagnosed with back in October. And it's up to her if she wants to disclose that information or not. But I'm not the type of person to divulge other people's information without their consent or permission. Like, it's just not me. That's a rat move, in my opinion. Hey, Paul. But it's been a significant health, life-changing situation for her. And she's been through it. And I know that no healthcare in any country is good. Okay. I know what we go through here in Canada, but I can't even imagine in the US how even more retarded it is. Okay. But this woman, if there is a horror story to be told about a friggin' health institution, she's got it. Okay. And the Susie I know Don't take shit, right? But I understand, when you're navigating that sort of shit, you don't want to make enemies when you're trying to get help. So I understand that. But I've got nothing invested in this and I'm in a different country. And what are you gonna do? Come get me? Because I'm still waiting for my own to come get me, okay? And they haven't. So what's that tell you? When you're right and when you're telling the truth, you don't have to fear what comes out of your mouth. Okay? That's just a fact. The only people that fear the truth and try to censor the fuck out of you and erase things and remove things and censor this and it's an online harms act and we're doing this for your protection. No, you're doing it to save your ass, okay? And all I'm going to say about that whole situation is this is I think the writing is on the wall now for a lot of people who thought that they were untouchable and that they were safe and that they just get through life skating away from any consequence of any sort. And I'm here to tell you, to remind you that we're still here, okay? And we're waiting for the tides to turn, and I believe they are. And I think the people that are neck deep in the shit also know that their days are numbered. And I can't wait until it happens, okay? If I could really tell you guys all the truth of everything that I know, like there's a reason why they try and censor me, and I wear that as a badge of honor because I tell you no lies. If anything, I'll be too honest with you, okay? They don't like that. But you know who doesn't have a problem with honesty? Is people who have nothing to hide. And I have nothing to hide. So, but you speak up in this country and you end up not getting bail, you get your human rights just ripped out of you and I am the one that stand up for those people because it's wrong what they're doing. And don't forget that karma, it will get you, and it doesn't have to be an act of anything that anybody does. When you are a shitty person and you do shitty things to other people, eventually what comes around goes around. And when it comes for you, it comes at you fast and furious. And you will see no pity from me. In fact, I'll be standing there live streaming it, laughing. And if that makes me sound like a horrible person, wait till you hear the story that I haven't told you guys, which I'm very soon getting ready to tell the whole truth about everything. But I'm trying to figure out the best way of doing that without being censored, because that is a real problem for Canadians. We can't say, even though we have these rights and we have this freedom of speech and freedom of expression and freedom of all this and that, right now we're going through the courts to find out how much validity there is to our Constitution. Okay. This is something I've never seen in my life. And this is something that we thought was inalienable. So now it's all being tested by, get this, one of the men who is the last living person to sign the Canadian Constitution, the Charter of Rights. He took it to court, to the Supreme Court, and you know what they told him? Listen to this. Do you know what they told him? The man who helped create the charter, the Constitution, you didn't understand what you wrote properly. Yeah, take that in before I say anything and cut them up and be like, okay, really? You wrote this, but you don't understand what you wrote because we're trying to distort reality and we're trying to fuck with your minds. Well, guess what? There's some people you can't breach. Okay. I'm one of them. That's why you hate people like me. And I friggin' love tearing you people to shreds, the people like you. And the world has already started to fall apart underneath all of their feet and they don't even realize it, but it comes at you in different ways. So your wife leaves you because you're not a man and she left you for a younger, hotter doctor who's probably not questioning his sexuality and worried about being on RuPaul's Drag Race. Okay. Instead of running a country and ruining it and running it into the ground. Our prime minister is worried about being on RuPaul Drag Race. Okay. That's his priorities. Come out of the closet. We already know you're gay. There's nothing wrong with it. Just embrace who you are. Your wife knows it. She left you for a hotter man. And I can't wait for her tell all. And I know you made her sign an NDA and probably gave her a lump sum settlement to not speak out. But there's other people of your family that are more than willing to talk, and I've already spoken to them. How do you like that? But it's Trudeau. Trudeau. Yeah, not afraid. So what happens? What does a tyrant do when they can't fear people, when people don't fear them anymore? They think you're a fucking joke, dude. You are a joke. Your own wife thinks you're a joke. Your kids think you're a joke. Your family thinks you're a fucking joke. Your own brother knows what you are, okay? Or should I say stepbrother, half brother, whatever. And it's not his fault. And I don't even hold it against him that he was born into your family or somehow joined your family. That's not his fault. He's normal. He should be the one running the country, not this fucking bozo. But anyways, I digress because, there's your trip. Okay. You wanted me to trip, there's your trip. But here's the thing. I don't care about it anymore. That's the problem. Is they wanted to ruin your lives. They wanted to make you miserable. They wanted to remove you. They almost got their wish. And then with a lot of people I know, they did. And if you think that, if you don't understand why I'm speaking up about this, maybe this will resonate with you people. How would you feel if you had lost 17 people in your life to died suddenly since June 26th of last year? Think about what I just said. 17 people. Have you ever heard of such a thing? I haven't. But why are people so angry? Hmm? Well, let me see how you deal with that. Let me see how you handle that. Okay. And you can still walk around mostly sane for the most part, except the odd little Tourette thing, that pops out every now and then. But that's my charm. And you're never going to get that. You don't get to destroy me. Okay. Never. And when you have somebody who is strong enough to look and stand up and look evil in the eye and laugh and say, you haven't seen nothing yet. If I were a betting person, I might choose my battles wisely because not everybody is easily bought, sold, and paid for. Some people have an actual constitution. Some people do have a backbone. Even women have testicles and they're not afraid to stand up to what's right and wrong. And I've never been that way, and I never will be that way. And I've been called worse by better than those people. And they don't get to ruin my life. They don't get to dictate how I live my life. They don't get to insert themselves into my physical space. Okay. And these people are so removed from reality that, like, you actually see videos of people approaching them on the street with very logical questions. And these sons of bitches who are elected officials and are supposed to represent the people, they don't even think that they deserve a response. Now, if I could get 5 feet within distance of these people, I would tune them in so fast, especially that Christian Methadone Freeland who can't keep her head still to save her life, or Trudeau, too busy waving his rattle and his Pampers. Your Pampers full, bud. Okay. And I want you to start thinking now, which I tried to tell you to do this a couple years ago, but you didn't think I knew what I was talking about then. Turns out I did. Maybe you should start thinking of next steps. Maybe you should start thinking of going on RuPaul's Drag Race and getting a new identity, because where are you going to be able to go in the world that's safe for you? Do tell. Tell me where you can go where people are not going to recognize you anywhere you go. Because if you think this is specific to Canada, dude, you are an international joke. Okay. This is the same, I don't even want to call him a man because as far as I'm concerned, he's sitting down. But this is the same quote unquote man that went on national TV and told the world that the Canadians were misogynists, racist, neo-Nazis. That's the first time I ever heard that word. Like, and then has the nerve to turn around and actually bring in a real Nazi from the World War. And all of these 338 bozos in the House of Commons stood up and gave the man an ovation. But we want to censor the truth. We don't want the truth out there. Well, don't worry, because you can't share Canadian news, but other countries aren't falling for your censorship bullshit. And if you don't think I'm known around the world, believe me, I am. I trust you. Trust me, I mean, I am. And they believe in free speech, and they believe in the truth, and they believe in doing what's right, even if that puts a target on your back. I don't care, because there's nothing you can do to me. I've already lost anything that mattered to me, and I'm still kicking. So if you think there's anything that you guys can do to me that's going to make me back down, as long as I believe in my heart of hearts what I'm saying to you is the truth, I will fight to the death. Now what? Checkmate, bitch. Now what? Now what you gonna do? Test me. I've already reached out to your ex-wife and been like, bitch, I'm waiting for your tell-all. Like, if you want to do an interview, I'm your girl. Like, believe me. And if you don't think that would be blasted from the rooftops, I'm underestimated. Do not ever underestimate me. You have no idea who I know, the contacts I have. Sometimes I can't even believe it. But you know why I do? Because I'm not afraid to speak up and to speak out and to reach out to people and to have conversations. See, unlike you, the truth doesn't scare me. You know what scares me is your fucking lies and bullshit. And the fact that you believe it tells me that you're a sociopath, psychopath. And you need my help. And I am now a life coach and I am taking on clients all around the world. And some people get good deals, but people like that, ask me what kind of deal you'll get. Hmm? You know, you put our country in debt and then you tax us to death, and now people are homeless and have no homes and can't afford to eat. And but we're the bad people. Are you sure about that? Because I think you're delusional. I think you're trying to distort reality and control the narrative with your bought and paid for media. And I don't think you're fooling anybody at this point. Okay, maybe you did at first. Kudos to you. Okay, at first you did get a few suckers. I tried to tell them, but I was the asshole. Well, that's okay. I don't mind being the asshole because assholes tell the truth. At least this asshole does. Um, and I approve of everything I'm saying. And when you can honestly say that you stood in your nation's capital and you watched the police attack their own citizens with horses and a fucking L-rod machine that I'm staring the face down the face of, and I had to look up what this thing is because I thought it was a tank and watch everything go down in real time right before my eyes. And if you didn't think that was a black pill, let me tell you, okay, it opened up any doubt that I once had. So I see things very clearly, even with the vision problem. Ain't that funny how that works? And these people probably have perfect vision and still can't see reality. Well, insert Kim's tripping because I live in nothing but reality. And I refuse to let people walk around with their heads up their asses anymore. And I will not condone that behavior. I will not accept it. I will not excuse it. I will not make excuses for them. I will tell them right to their face what I think they're, and I have. Fifth channel, guys. But we like the truth here in Canada, you know. As long as we agree, that's the part in our constitution that I must have overlooked. It's the caveat that says you have the right to speak up for what you believe in, as long as we agree with it. I didn't see that part. You might want to recommend the section and the appendix of that part of the code that you're speaking of, because nobody else sees it but you people. So there's that little rant. Did I do good there? Was that good for you? Was it good? Was that enough tripping, or you need some more tripping? Because I really don't have a lot to trip about these days, to be honest with you. I'm actually like happy, and it's weird. And the first time I said that to somebody, I was like, is it weird that like I'm walking around like waiting for something to fall out of the sky on me? Because when you've had to live in survival mode for so long, it's not living, it's existing. And that is like you're always on defensive mode. You're always waiting for the something to fall out of the sky or something to go wrong. And then when all of a sudden things stop doing that, and like you hear this weird noise come out of yourself and it's laughter, and it's like I'm driving down the street and I'm singing again. Like I haven't heard myself sing in years. I can sing, doesn't mean I won't sing, but it means I'm happy when I am singing. And that's something I haven't heard in a long time. So no matter what life throws at you, no matter how shitty of a hand you've been dealt in this life, you don't have to give in and you don't have to let them win. Even when that doesn't make sense to you, when you're like, what is this for? I don't understand this. I don't get why me? Why the challenge? What is the lesson that I'm needing to learn? One day it'll become clear. Do I have all the answers? Not even close. Don't even pretend to. Don't care to. Because sometimes with knowledge comes pain. Because when you see reality and you see what it is, and you're not in a position to be able to fix it, change it, or do anything about it, it makes you feel sort of helpless. So that's when you have to say, okay, I've done what I can do. And when things go down, I'm here and I'm ready. And I know what my role is in this. And it's to help the others that still have their heads up their ass for whatever reason. And how you can still do that and walk around at this day and age is beyond me. But I want 10 of what you're on, okay? because you're clearly not in this fucking universe. All right, so let's just keep it real over here. That's what we do. We like to keep things real. You know, no fugazis allowed. I will not have it. Not on my watch. Okay. That's just the way it is. Some people don't like that. You know who don't like that? Psychopaths, sociopaths, people that don't have good intentions for you. Well, you know what? Karma will get you. And it's funny how life works. Okay. It's very funny how life works. What comes around goes around. It's inertia, right? Like you can't stop the law of physics. So, you have to be careful of your wording because like these people are so insane. Like they don't even make sense when they speak. And it's like I just let them go now because it's like I don't want to tear a strip out of them so deep that they will never be the same person again. But I believe life will. So would you rather it come from me or would you rather it come from life? Because life is a little less forgiving than me. Okay? There's certain lines I won't cross yet. But push me and see what happens. I stand for truth. I stand for what's right. I know what's right and wrong. I know what I was taught as a child. I see what's going on as clear as day. And you guys can play all the games you want and put out this misinformation and then make this narrative up and have everybody around the world thinking something totally opposite. But people see through that shit eventually. Okay. And that's why in Canada we became so big on the live streaming because when we figured out right before our very fucking eyes that even the media sells their souls. Like all of these people don't realize they're only useful idiots until you're not anymore. And your usefulness is coming to an end. Prepare a plan B if you don't have one, which something tells me you people don't because you're stupid. So you better start working on a plan B. What is going to happen next? What is my next step? Where do I go from here? Because if you think anybody's going to forgive and forget, no, you don't deserve that. Only people who show true remorse and changed behavior deserve a second chance. And sometimes not even that. But the people that we're discussing right now, they don't deserve a second chance, a third chance, a 100th chance. You know what you deserve? Something we don't have in Canada anymore, but that certain states still believe in. If you know, you know. But I kind of like the idea of the prolonged torture, like what you did for us, like to us, like the end game. I kind of like that idea. So you guys have turned me into a little bit of a glutton for punishment, and I can take my lumps better than anybody. And now it's time for you to take yours, and let's see how well you guys handle that. And the day that the toddler is gone, I'm stating it here first. You heard it here first, you guys. That's New Canada Day. You want to see a country erupt into pure happiness and joy like you've never seen in your entire friggin' life? Wait until that day comes. Okay? Because there's rumblings about things happening and it's only a matter of time. And all of these people who were just doing their jobs and they were just following orders, even though we knew they were illegal and unconstitutional, but it paid for your pool, right? I hope you enjoy that pool, motherfucker, right? You better enjoy your stuff because when you're celebrating and you've got none of your stuff left and everybody's turned their back on you because they see you're a piece of shit, that's when we're going to stand up and be like, oh, there is a God, right? If some of this doesn't make sense to you guys, go back and watch my older videos. I don't want to keep repeating myself on it. Like, you're not going to change anybody's mind about things. It is what it is. They made sure to go, 100% full force against us, and they have a bigger reach than we do. So they spread this news all around the world, and they had people thinking that Canadians were racist and misogynist. How can I be a misogynist? I'm a woman. Do tell on that one. They called us all kinds of names, but really it was just deflection and projection. And where else do we see that? Do we see that on YouTube? Could it be? No, it couldn't be. My eyes must be deceiving me. My blind 80-year-old fucking eyes must be deceiving me because people would not do that on purpose with a smile on a finger and a tax to boot. we're going to launder your money. And, we're richer than we've ever been. And you guys are poorer than you've ever been. But here's another tax. But don't get mad. Okay? Don't get mad. Not allowed to be mad because we're going to censor you. Can't be mad. Can't tell the truth. I don't live far from a border. Okay? So you really want to play games and censor my truth? Maybe I'll just go for a 2-hour drive and be in America. Because guess what? Now your censorship rules don't apply to me there. It's almost like I thought a step ahead. Maybe? You think? I don't know. I'm just a dumb Canadian. What do I know? Maybe we've had a lot of time to think and process and you know. Can't tell everything now. That wouldn't be right. Maybe we should put out misinformation on a mass scale so the whole world thinks we're like him. No, RuPaul, we're not like you. Okay? We're not like you. We are nothing like you. You are not even Canadian. You're not even human, in my opinion. Because like that cannot be human. That type of evil cannot be human. Because I don't even understand that. And you're talking to somebody who watches like serial killer documentaries and stuff, and I still don't understand these people. You're worse than them. Okay? And there's stories about things there that I can't talk about too, but maybe do some research. If one day you're bored and you feel like perusing some information, some Canadian news, maybe look into people called, oh, I don't know, I think their name was the Shermans. Maybe look into something about the Picton pig farms. I don't know, there might be something of interest to someone, especially if you have I don't know, maybe a legal background. I don't know. All of these things. I like watching documentaries. I like watching, reality TV shows. Um, right? Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? Just playing by your rules, guys. How do you like me now? It's almost dangerous when someone starts beating at your own game, ain't it? Hmm? But I'm not dangerous. I'm actually good. That's the best part of all. You didn't get to destroy me. You didn't get to rule my world or get me to eradicate myself or the others that didn't know what was happening at the time, but I'm speaking for them. Because don't forget there's 17 that I've lost since June 26th of last year. So maybe I have a lot of words to speak for a lot of fucking people that didn't get the chance to say it themselves. Maybe Martha Stewart isn't the only one that's good at insider trading. Maybe if you can plan a disaster and you know about it in advance and you have certain investments in certain places, you better have that mixed portfolio of investments, you guys, because you never know when you're going to go from an average peasant to a fucking multimillionaire and tax everybody else at their expense with a smile on a finger. And you think people are just going to take that? What clown world are you living in, yo? Because I want to fucking live there. All right. But I won't because I'm a realist and I see reality, even when it ain't pretty. But you know what? I can also beat you at your own game. So let's play in a game you fucking want, but I'm going to win. How's that? Okay. Trudeau, this is the only good thing you did. Look at this. This is the only thing. And all those stupid little millennials went out and voted for you because they thought you were saving grace. Dude, you did nothing. Okay. It's been legal in everyone's mind for 25 fucking years in this country. You did nothing. You created a lot more problems than what you fixed. Let's put it that way. Okay. Let's look at the areas that you're responsible for. Let's look at immigration. That's a problem that speaks all on its own. That's the head of the toddler. That's what falls under his umbrella. Let's look at healthcare. Oh, now the problem. Let's look at the schooling. Now that kind of also borderlines on provincial. So, but again, you oversee these people, and if there's a problem, the true leader would step up and fix problems, not make them. Okay. But again, what do I know? I'm hooked on phonics over here. Okay. So I'm gonna sit and smoke a joint for Trudeau because this is the only good thing he did. So let's celebrate. It's 420. If you got one, celebrate. Okay. So What else can we talk about? What else should I let you know? Because I can only divulge a little bit here and there, you know what I'm saying? And then people have to, pick up the seeds and run with them and do your own investigation, because I'm never going to be that person that tells you what to think, say, or do. That's not me, not my style. And people that do that, I think you're some sort of psychopath. Sorry about the chat. I can't see it right now because my eyes are eyes of an 80-year-old. For real. But soon they're not going to be. I'm going to be like the bionic woman and have like super fucking vision, like x-ray vision. I already have that. That's the problem. That's why my eyes are like no longer good, because I've seen too much. These eyes have seen too much that they shouldn't have seen. Okay. But I'm a survivor and I made it through. And I'm a life coach now and I'm taking on clients everywhere. International, doesn't matter where you live. Okay. If as long as you are like coachable, willing to get out of your own way and listen to the fact that maybe what you're doing isn't working when you're living a miserable life, and you see like this miserable bitch over here who used to always be tripping, now happy and laughing and joking around, and a side of her that you didn't even know was there. This is what I really am. Like, it's funny that people have been watching me for a couple years and never really met the real me. Ain't that some shit? Welcome to the real Kim. I'm glad you got to meet her, because it was hard. But they don't get to own me. They don't get to wreck my shit. They don't get to ruin my life any more than they already have. What they get to do now is go and make me a sandwich, bitch, and watch what I do next. Because the sky's the limit. Hmm? Don't you think? I think the sky's the limit. Nothing I can't do. Hmm. What should I do next? Wouldn't you like to know? Hmm. This is great. I wonder how many people are sitting in their homes, rocking in their corners, sucking their thumbs, shaking their rattle, rocking back and forth like a little bitch, because all of their secrets are well known to everybody. And no matter how many times you scrub the internet and you take down websites and you block this and you censor that, and the truth still somehow gets out and is now common knowledge, and everything you do is no longer hidden behind closed doors. Let me tell you how that shit starts, just in case you didn't know how it starts. It might not start off this bad. It might start off with, well, if you do this for me, I'll, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Well, guess what happens the first time you do that? You stupid fucking people that fall for this shit, you deserve to fall for it. But here's what happens. I'm going to tell the non-stupid people is, once you bend a knee once and they've got something on you, your life, your decisions, your fate is no longer your own. And the next thing you know, you're doing shit that you would never do, because these people have leverage over you now. And this is the way that it works in the world of the elites, right? Is they will start blackmailing your ass and extorting your ass. And now they own you. And this is how it starts, and it's a snowball, and it goes down the hill, and it gets bigger and bigger, and now it's an avalanche, and now you don't know how to stop it. There's no hope for you people. If you don't know how to get out of your mess that you've created for yourself, I'm not helping you. No life coach for you. You don't deserve a life coach. You deserve the devil, and you're going to meet him sooner than you thought. Okay. That ain't no threat. I don't even believe there is a devil. I don't believe there's a God either, but I keep my opinions to myself. I believe in things I can see. That's what I believe in. Because this world has given me many reasons to not believe in anything. But I still have morals, and I still have a moral compass, and I know right from wrong, and I know what I can get away with and what I can't. And I will always push the threshold, because that's who I am and what I do. And that's what makes me me. I've never been a follower my entire life, and I don't intend to start now. Okay. And all of these people that are scrambling and don't know what to do next, like, I know how uncomfortable right now they all are. And it's like, it's giving me so much joy. Like, I'm thrilled with joy that they're so uncomfortable. Their diapers are so messy, they can't even put on diapers fast enough. Like, that gives me so much joy. You don't even understand. Like, seriously, like, Trudeau, where can I send you some Pampers, bro? because you're going to need them, okay? Some Kleenex and some Pampers, okay? Yeah. So there's a reason why people are upset. A damn good reason. And I've only listed but a few. This is the very PG rated version of just a small little glimpse of what just the last couple of years have been like. Never mind before that. I could literally, if I didn't have ADD and I could sit down and write a book, I would have like a series of books. I'm more of a talker. Uh, you know, I wouldn't hurt some minds by speaking and using my voice. And I'm sometimes misunderstood, and I don't really care about that either. I know what I mean. Isn't that the thing about interpretation? Everybody can interpret things differently. You know, there's lots of information out there available for people to peruse at their leisure on the internet, especially if you're not in Canada, okay? Like there's things that you will see that us Canadians are just not able to handle to see, because some Canadians are like snowflakes and they are allergic to the truth, yo, and they cannot see it. They will melt. They will have a fucking meltdown. Okay? Those guys, they need to fuck off. You're just a speed bump, okay? No cucks allowed. I don't do cucks, okay? You can't be lame, all right? You need to have a very strong moral compass and not let anybody get in your head. When they use every single weapon against you to try and do that, you need to say, nope, I know what you're doing and I'm not letting you do it. Let them think they are, though. That's the fun part about it, is I'll let them think they are. I don't know. Who am I? Just a Canadian. Told you before, I wouldn't want to be on my bad side. I don't know. You've seen that shit. You've seen my temper. That shit's ridiculous. Car, I wouldn't want it directed at me. But I have directed it at me for too many years about things that weren't even my fault to begin with. Well, no more. My back ain't built to be carrying other people's bullshit. Okay? I carry my own now. And it took a long time to get that lesson through this thick fucking skull. Maybe it's the weed. I don't know. But I need to see things for myself. I need to learn things for myself. I make up my own mind. Nobody will ever influence me. That's just the way it is. I'm very defiant. I'm very stubborn. These are all the same reasons why I've told you guys I can't do well in jail. Like I would not do well in jail. Like I would not. I would dive headfirst off the top bunk day one. Wouldn't happen. I couldn't do it. Claustrophobic. You're not telling me what to do. I'm very defiant. It would end badly. I can't do it. I can't go to jail. I can't go to prison. Okay. It just wouldn't work for me. I'm sorry. Gangster or not. I'm not made for prison. I know that about myself. Okay. That's my threshold. That's what stops me from doing anything too bad that would end me many years in prison. So I say to myself, no, Kim, it wouldn't work for you, right? Car. Let's see what the chat's saying. I can't see the chat. Let me see. Well, you know what? What if we've already been in prison? What if we already have lived in a prison for too many years? And now you see the light of day and now you feel like freedom, like a prisoner who's been locked up for a life sentence. Now you get to experience a freedom that you've never felt before. And when you get a taste of what that's like, you're never going to let yourself be imprisoned again. So they can try and do whatever they like. Doesn't mean they're going to win. Right? Oh, I know what their plans are. But here's the thing about plans is when you know that, you can have other plans. It's actually possible. I'm going to tell you, no Henry's secret is you can plan a plan B, maybe even a C, D, and E if you want. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. You had a warrant for your arrest. What? A traffic ticket? They give you a warrant for your arrest for a traffic ticket? I feel like I should get jail credit. Are you kidding me? Are you for real? They actually give you a warrant for your arrest for a traffic ticket? Is that real? That's insanity to me. And don't be giving any ideas over here to this fucking toddler. But he's too busy planning his exit, digging out his tunnel, okay? He's got other things to worry about. That's insanity. A warrant for arrest for a traffic ticket. Okay, let me explain this. Okay, in Canada, we have criminal code, which is what you can be charged in and go to jail for. Okay. Now, wait a minute. There's a traffic violation, but there can be criminal ones. Okay. So, for instance, drinking and driving is criminal. They have something called stunt driving. So, if you're like so much over the speed limit, they can take your car. You can go to jail for a week. I don't know. Like, all these are new things, right? So there are certain things you can do, like a reckless, careless, or if you're drinking and driving, of course, those things are gonna. But a speeding ticket, to hell no. See what I mean? I want to be American. I'm American at heart, but your fucking draconian laws scare the shit out of me. Okay, they need to lose the RICO Act and they need to lose conspiracy and whatever this is about fucking a warrant for a traffic thing. That's got to go too. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? Like, holy mother of God. I don't understand the stupidity of some people. Like, whoops. I don't know why I did that. I'm trying to see the comments that I missed. There's a lot. Don't let anybody control you. Yeah, I never let anybody control you, Whitney Lee. Another part of the world, there's no taxes. Wait a minute. There's no taxes. What do you mean? Where do you live? Wait a minute. Are you telling me the truth? I'm glad I lived in another part of the world where there was no taxes, no speech control, more business freedom. It was the best. What country is this? Okay. Because we know nothing but taxes here in Canada, and I hate it. Like, they're stealing all my money. I hate it. They're a bunch of, you know what they are. I don't need to tell you. They know what they are. Hang on. For PM. Oh, no. Because that's a trick. I don't need titles, okay? She's guarding that joint. I talk too much and I don't even burn the joint. I'm trying to coach them these days. Well, yeah, there's some people I refuse to accept as clients because there's no helping them and they know it. And then I've addressed those people already in this video who I will not help because you deserve everything that's coming to you that you do on your own. And I'm going to laugh at you. And instead of offering you a hand up, I'm going to give you a band-aid and say, keep going. Like, fuck you. You deserve everything you get. That's your karma. That's what karma is. It's been year 2. I'm still waiting to... Wait a minute. What? What? I'm still waiting to see us. I probably have cancer crying. Are you... What? I don't know how to touch that one. Are you serious? And what country are you in, by the way, Whitney? I'm just out of curiosity. If I would be considered... Yeah. One time I would have been considered dangerous to myself, too. I have a good memory. I'm forgetting everything. I sometimes it's hit and miss, okay? Don't always count on that. Hamilton, yeah, man, you know my hometown. That's fucking funny. Not many people do. Hey, Steve, how's it going? Smiley, hi, how are you? Oh, government workers, fuck. Oh, I can't stand them. They're just dead weight in the positions. All of those government buildings that sit empty and unoccupied, I think should be filled for the homeless people. Whoops. I don't know how to get back on the stupid. Sorry, hang on. Wait a minute. Whoops. In many states, USA, if one does not honor payment of traffic tickets, they will issue a warrant of arrest. Unbelievable. For how long? Like, just out of curiosity. Like, I mean, are we talking like, a week? Like, I mean, okay, how much? Like, give me an example. So, like, if you get a $50 ticket and you don't pay it because you're like, "Pfft," are they gonna like come arrest you? Or like, is it got to be a certain amount? Like, what? Explain this to me, okay? I don't understand. I don't understand. And how long do you go to jail for? And what's the charge? Like, what is the crime that you're committing? Because I don't agree with your piece of paper. Like, I don't understand. It's at least, okay, wait a minute. It's at least 300. Yeah, I know. Oh, I've told them all. Believe me when I and if you think I just come on here and talk shit, like any government place I call, I say all of this to them. Okay, and we record your calls for quality control. Mm-hmm. Then play it. Let's hear it because I'd love to hear some of those calls. Let me tell you. And if you think I change my tone or any single thing about me when I'm on the phone with them, no, you're getting the watered down version. Okay. It takes a minute. But wait, explain to me what kind of a situation. Mr. Smith, get your ass up here. You haven't been up here in a long time, okay? You need to come up here right now. Hang on. I don't know if it's going to work. Hang on. Oh, no. Hang on. Whoops. Oh, I don't know how. Uh-oh. What'd I do? Uh-oh. Oh, oh, God, it's hard to be me. There we go. Hang on. Wait a second. I need an example. I need specifics. I need some deets, okay? Where is... Oh, wait. Hang on. Copy. Hang on. If I go through all this and he doesn't even come up after all this, I'm going to be really freaking mad. I'll be taking my ball and I'll be going in, okay? Okay, hang on. There we go. Look at how much effort that took. I'm sitting outside. Now, I live in the country and I hear noises. That could be anything from like a bunny, a raccoon, a skunk. I've seen skunks. I've seen deers running through here. That could be anything. So sometimes I look around and make sure that like nothing's sneaking out behind me. Okay. Okay, Mr. Smith, you know what to do with that link. Do as you're told. I'm just kidding. Am I? Am I kidding? I got my... Do you want me to go get my fucking horns out of the house? My devil horns? Where is... How do I see? If he gives me that fucking excuse one more time, I'm tired. He's gonna fucking... I'll give him something to be tired about. I'll fucking knock him out. I better be careful. I said something like that the other day on Instagram Live, and they thought I was inciting violence, and it was against a dead person. Oh, look. Hi, how are you?
Hola, mami, ¿qué pasó?
Uh-oh, I don't understand all that. Come on now. I understand mammy.
It's Canadian Spanish.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know there was such a thing. Okay. Okay, so what's going on? Explain this court thing to me, because, like, are you serious about it? What kind of situation?
So it depends on the states now. It used to be pretty much countrywide in the states, but say you get a traffic ticket. In my case, and this sounds, to me, it was kind of awesome as an adult, but back then it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I was working for a police department, but I was in Delaware, but I was visiting back home, and I cut off 2 cops in an intersection, and they were pissed. They were pissed.
Good. Yeah, of course they would be.
So I got a ticket. It was for failing to yield right away on a left turn. And I did show up in court, and the officer failed to show up. However, the court clerk did not show my presence in the court records, right?
Ain't that some shady shit?
So what happened was I got what's called an FTA, or failed to appear warrant.
Yeah, I've had those. I don't know what they do about them.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
In different states, it's failed to appear an FTA, a capias, or a bench warrant, whatever you want to call it. So,
yeah.
And I was a cop in Delaware, and I had a warrant for my arrest in Maryland. I had no idea.
That is fucking hilarious.
No idea.
That's awesome, actually. That is some credit. I will give you some credit for that. That's some gangster shit. Yeah.
For a traffic ticket that I actually showed up for court for, but they fucked it up. But so, like, for a year in Delaware, I had a warrant in Maryland, and just for fail to appear. But
wait, pause for 1 second. Now, to people that don't know this, listen to how stupid those guys were, because Mr. Smith, has walked for Biden. Okay, and he had a warrant. Yeah, twice. When even now, because Biden can't walk. You know, like, so he had a warrant. That is the best story ever. Oh my god, that's so fucking funny. I love it. Continue.
Biden was the 90s. But yeah. So anyway, so I found out my my employer, my agency, is like, you know, you got a warrant in Maryland for your arrest. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You got the wrong. And like, there's not many fucking people on the face of the planet with my fucking real name. And I'm like,
This is funny shit.
get the fuck out of town. So I called
Yeah.
the court system in Maryland. They're like, yeah, so we have a we have a bench warrant for fail to appear for you on this traffic charge. Like, I was there.
I
was
would have
in
did this
court.
on a live. I would have made this call on a live. Okay,
Right.
continue.
So anyway, and at the time when my father was alive, he was an attorney.
Oh, fuck
And
damn.
so I called, I know, Golden Spoon, blah, 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 whatever.
No,
So I called
I
my
mean
dad.
resource. Hello, that's what.
I
No,
called my-
no, Golden
yeah.
Spoon.
So I called my dad. I'm like, what's going on with this stuff? Like, how do I take care of it? He's like, they issued a warrant for you. I'm like, yeah, but I was there. He's like, so he went back through court records. He's like, no, his appearance is here. So he contacted the courts. He wrote an official, business head letter thing and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it got quashed. It's like the court recorder, sorry, up. But yeah, I was a cop for a year with a warrant for my arrest in another state. It was awesome. As an adult, looking back,
That is awesome. No, that's fucking hilarious. But here's another thing. Okay, wouldn't there have been a court transcript of your presence being there?
That's the court recorder's job to do.
Oh,
but
they didn't.
failed,
I got what you're saying now. I got what you're saying now. She didn't say that. That's some shady shit.
I actually talked to the judge face to face. Like I was there.
Was she related to one of the cops by any chance?
No, it's just she just, in all honesty, she made an error. So
okay, well, hey, it happens to the best of us. But that is some funny fucking shit. I would. Oh my god, that is so funny.
it's a true story. And but I was a kid then too. Like I was really young. But yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Traffic ticket. Failed to yield the right of way on a left turn after I cut off 2 cops.
That's so funny.
But it takes, you were asking earlier how long it takes.
Yeah.
Between the time you get the ticket to the time you get a warrant. All right. So usually you have like a couple weeks to notify. You either pay it by mail or you appear in person or you contest it. You send in a copy of the ticket or a letter that says you want to contest it in court.
Yeah.
So then it takes a while for the court date to show up, like literally weeks or months or whatever.
Yeah.
That happens if you're found guilty or you don't appear or that type of thing. We're talking literally like months. And then the court has to take their time processing, saying, well, this person didn't pay, or, this person didn't appear, or they were found guilty or whatever. So then it takes more weeks. So you could be talking like 6 months down the road at least. And all of a sudden, you got a warrant. And in a lot of places, like if you don't pay a traffic ticket,
that's crazy.
Your license gets suspended too. So not only do you have a warrant for your arrest, then you also have no valid driving privileges.
That's bad. See, I have that luck. Like I have that luck where it's like, oh, we lost this, or oh, you know what I mean? So like I'm the one, this kind of shit happens to me all the time. Like it's ridiculous. Like so that's why I was laughing to think that could happen as a cop who had the security clearance, by the way, to get, within touching distance of the president, by the way.
I did have a security, but this was actually before Biden, but it was the same time, like the same, I guess, 5-6 year time frame. But isn't that ironic? I'm wearing my buddy's NYPD t-shirt. That's ironic, huh?
That is funny, isn't it?
It's NYPD lacrosse team.
That's funny.
But anyway, so yeah, that actually happened.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
I guess you're back from Delaware because I know you went for a trip.
I got back yesterday. Yes.
Nice. How was that? Was it good to get away?
It was. I got to see my daughter and my grandson. I got to do a lot of work on my property.
Yeah, that's fun. That's always a fun part.
Yeah,
working on vacation. Yeah,
that was a blast. I haven't had an actual vacation there in several years. So
yeah, I understand. I understand how that goes. Okay, what's happening here? I'm trying to get my light situated. It keeps falling. That's funny though. There we go. I hope it stays. If not, it'll just fall and make a big ass noise. What was I gonna say? There was something else I wanted to talk about tonight. I totally forgot what it was. But Oh, sorry about the live. I scheduled a live to everybody earlier, and then I woke up, I was cranky today. I'm like, yeah, nobody wants to deal with me right now, okay? So I rescheduled it. But there was
I
something
know.
else I wanted to talk about.
I saw that because it was scheduled for like 2 something p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I was like,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
sitting here, I'm waiting, and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
well,
Well, I woke up cranky pants, and I'm like, yeah, that's not happening. Like, I'm not. Well, no, I mean, I come on here for years, and all I did was like, bah! Like fucking yell. But now that I'm not like that anymore, it's funny.
that's
Like,
fine.
it's so funny that, like people who knew, like Smiley, like I was saying hi to one of my subs in here. She's been with me for years. So
Mhm.
she's seen like the worst of the worst and then now this, right? So it's like, and some people have never seen this. This is how I normally am, right? But life sometimes, gives you a big steaming pile of poop and you got to handle it, right? And sometimes it doesn't always come out really nice. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
it's
So,
it's funny you should mention that. I stepped in a pile of pug shit, this
ah,
week in my yard.
that's horrible, especially in barefoot. That is offensive in barefoot.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen to this. I did a live on my Instagram yesterday because this is a new sign, and I can't even believe that it needs to be said, but it does. Is that there is no defecating or urinating on the beach. Okay, you're not allowed to do that. Now, I would be very upset if I stepped in human feces on the on the beach, but this is the times we're living in. So I put it on Instagram. I'm like, I can't even believe I have to say this, but this is what the sign says. Like, and they're talking about humans.
That
People
it's funny.
are pooping
Yeah.
on the beach.
It's funny you should mention that because most of the beaches were closed when I was there because medical waste was washing up for like, good Lord, over 2 different states, Maryland and Delaware.
What kind of medical waste?
Oh, everything from needles to everything biohazard that you can think
Oh
of.
my God! How?
Yeah,
Why? What? I don't get it.
because
How?
because the United States is stupid and they allow fucking companies to go and dump waste, trash, medical waste, and everything into the Atlantic Ocean, probably the Pacific Ocean too. I don't know. I've never
Oh my
lived there,
God! That is
but,
so
and it washed
unsafe.
up. Yeah, it's very unsafe. So they closed all the beaches for like I think it was just over a week or
Is
something.
that legal? Like, I
No, it's
want to give them a
no.
fine and put them in jail for that. Let's do that, Mr. Smith.
Well, I take that back. It's legal if they dump it in, say, international waters, but then somehow it ends up, I guess, in United States waters and
Well,
washes up.
if you want to hear something really weird, I
Uh,
understand that because in BC, they get stuff washed up from Japan, from the ocean, believe it or not. And it's like
True.
that far, but yeah, that far.
Yeah. So I don't know. Who knows? They're supposedly working on finding out where it came from. But I mean, come on. Unless they've got like return address labels on like, trash bags and like syringes and shit like that.
Syringes, especially, like that is
Yeah.
really not safe for
Yeah, they were
animals,
telling
for
people.
people, nothing.
Yeah, they completely closed beaches, like, you weren't even allowed to walk on them, much less swim, and then after they cleared, they're like, "Well, just don't go out on the beach without closed-toe, shoes or sandals or
Oh
something."
yeah, because I like to wear my running shoes to fill them up with sand on the beach. Like,
Right,
yeah, okay.
right. But, yeah,
People,
so
man, are
that
just
was going
stupid.
on while I was down there. I'm like, "Oh, fucking hell," and, I'm usually what happens, at least where I am there, is it's old World War II munitions that wash up, like, artillery
Yes.
shells, hand grenades, 50 cal bullets, shit like that.
Yeah.
But medical waste,
Yeah,
I
that's a major no-no.
that might have happened one other time in my lifetime there, but, yeah, that's kinda huge.
Wow.
And
That's
it pissed me off too, of course.
there was a river, Miramichi or something. I'm obviously probably mispronouncing it, but it's in New Brunswick, I think, or Nova Scotia. I can't remember. I messed up the story, but this part of it's true. Is there was a bass? Okay, you know bass. You know how to fish, right? Okay,
Yeah.
a bass that they said was going to overtake the ecosystem. So instead of allowing the fishermen to go and fish it and use it as food, right?
Mhm.
They decided it's better to poison all of the waters. Well,
Oh,
there was a man that got in the water and took out their poison hose. And then months later, like within a short order, had a serious brain tumor.
right.
But yeah, it was really bad. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, why would you even do that? First of all, like, Well, I know why. Don't ask why. Don't ask stupid questions, right? But
Mm.
I mean, like the guy went in there and because he had exposure to this, whatever this thing is,
Mhm.
now does that not filtrate back into their drinking water as well? Like, I mean, I don't know. I
I
mean,
would think so.
so would I. So I don't understand this world. Okay, like I just don't get it. But I don't know. Like, let's not help each other out and make people thrive and succeed. Let's put every obstacle we can in front of them and say jump. Like, that's not the way that I was raised or taught. Like, I don't understand that thinking. Okay. Like, some people do. And the world is ran by these idiots. Okay. We need to stop making stupid people in charge. Okay. Can we stop that?
Well, I mean,
Yes.
bad things are about to happen all over the globe.
I know. I
So
know. I know.
hopefully a lot of these fucking oxygen thieves won't be around afterwards. So
I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure it out. Like I have to ask you this question. What are your thoughts on this whole Trump thing? Do you think it's false flags? Do you think this is real? Like what is it that you know what I mean? Like I don't I can't help but be obviously suspicious about it. We know why they would want him, but
Mhm.
I'm wondering if it's somebody else and they're trying to make it look a certain type of way because we know how they like to do stuff like that. What is your thoughts on it?
Well, remember back in I think it was 2016 where they thought for sure he wasn't going to win, and like they're making all these big media and public statements and all this bullshit, and he
Yes.
won, and he won.
Yeah. Yes.
So right now it's anyone's game. It's a 50-50 shot in my
Right.
opinion.
Right.
But however, I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
Harris is completely inept. She has no business being in a leadership role to actually take control of a country, much less lead its military forces. Because as a president of the United States, you are actually the commander in chief. You are in charge of all military, and
Yeah.
she is in no way capable of doing that. I don't care if she was vice president or anything.
Yeah.
Now or previously, she has
Right.
zero experience
Well,
doing.
especially at the stage we're in in the world with the climate being what it is, it's like even if it's not Trump, like if you're not a Trump supporter,
Mhm.
which okay, whatever, I know who I'm talking to, but there's certain people that watch and aren't, and I get it, whatever. But
Mhm.
there's somebody, whether it's Trump or not, it needs to be somebody that's going to be able to handle this shit show they're walking right into,
Mhm.
and I don't know well enough, Kamala, but I know Trump's history, and as much as you might hate him, I think there's something to be said about keeping your friends close and your enemies closer. And
Look,
funny how we weren't in this spot when he was in charge.
he and Putin. A lot of people make fun
Yep.
of it and say that they were
Yep.
best buddies and stuff. They
Yep.
weren't,
No.
but they were polite and cordial with each other and professional with each other because they both know that they're superpowers, or at
That's
least
right. That's
were at
right.
the time. So they're polite and cordial, and get away. And same with North Korea, China,
Yep.
Iran. We didn't have any of these problems when Trump
No,
was
I
in
know. That's
office.
what I'm saying. Like, and I mean, I'm putting the politics aside. I know it's a very hard subject for people to talk about. I
It
could care
is.
less about the leader or any of that. I'm talking about the state of the world for the human race. Okay, this is what I'm
I
discussing.
agree.
Like,
I
what's going to affect our life, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but some people can't have this conversation and be civil about it. Like they're just like their logic. You just can't even reason with idiots. Okay. So it's
Mhm.
like, okay, take the politics out of it. Look at your quality of life. Okay. Tell
Mhm.
me in 6 months from now what it looks like if things don't go the way we hope they go. I'm afraid to see what that looks like. We already know what it's gonna look like, okay? It's like survival of the fittest here.
Well, in the last over 3.5 years, our country's become flooded with
Mm-hmm.
illegal
Same
immigrants.
here. Same here.
Right. And yes, you know the situation. And
Yeah.
a lot of them are criminals in their own countries, fugitives.
Mm-hmm.
There's terrorists coming in from different
Mm-hmm.
countries and things like that. That's well documented.
Yeah.
It's not like a hypothetical thing.
Yeah.
It's a real world thing here in the States.
Yeah.
And with the current administration, like it fucked up this country pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like
Everywhere.
Trudeau.
The world, yeah.
It's just like Trudeau's done to Canada, kind of thing, right?
Well, actually, and this is the funny part that people don't understand because they're like, you're Canadian. Why do you care about Trump? Well, here's what you don't understand. Let me tell you. The first day Biden got into office, he canceled the pipeline. And why do I care? Because Alberta's oil and gas, okay? It's the economic engine of Canada. He took away thousands of jobs to start our economy all on his first day. That's why I care. Okay. Not because of a leader, not because of right or left or anything. It's because like this is affecting people's lives and you need to stop what you're doing and consider that. Right. So
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But it's this country, the United States,
scary times.
has gone to absolute shit in the past 3.5 plus years.
Yeah.
And it cannot withstand someone like Harris being in office because she is so inept, so inexperienced. Her mindset is corrupt. It's proven. It's all documented. Like everything she did in California, you know.
Even if she had the skills, I don't think she has, like, for the stage that we're at, like, I don't think she has that skill set to be able to avoid any collateral damage.
Right. And the problem that we're in the States is we have Harris, who will be horrible for the country, and we have Trump, who he's a jerk. I'll say it.
When he opens his mouth, yeah, he is. But I mean, he's a businessman, right? I got to give him that.
You can't run a presidency using Twitter, which is what he did for 4 fucking years. You can't.
Yeah, he did.
That's not how it works.
He did.
And that was stupid. That was horrible. But you know, at the same time,
our leader's done much worse than that. So if that's all he's done, hey, you know.
Right. And he's been accused of all kinds of shit and like whatever.
I know.
And he's been persecuted ever since, you know, he's you know, been the former president. He's been persecuted in at least a couple different states, right? Georgia, New York, shit like that.
Yeah.
And I know they're bogus. It's all bogus crap. But my whole point is we have Harris, and that's a huge fucking no for me, right? And they have Trump, and that's like, well, if I have to, because I'm not going.
Yeah, it's the lesser of two evils, is the way I see it, because they're all the same as far as I'm concerned. But the stage that we're going into, we need somebody that can act in a situation, you know, and not be told in my earpiece what to do because I have no balls and my earpiece is telling me what to do.
And here's the other big thing too. How long has it been since a sitting or former president has gone through an assassination or an attempted assassination more than once?
I know. And persecuted and everything else they've tried to do. I mean, like, they're actually just solidifying his position. Do they not understand that? Like, do they not get, like, do they not understand through, you know, everybody's eyes? Like, you showed your cards. Like, there's no way you can hide what you're doing. Like,
well, now we have the secret squirrel-vis, I call them, Secret Service. I call them the squirrel-vis. They're having to play catch up because you know, I worked with them and stuff. There's someone said it, I forget who said it recently today. It was somebody, they can no longer do this cookie cutter protection for any you know, president or vice president anymore. They can't do it. Well,
and the last thing they should be doing is going on TV and saying we're doing all of these extra precautions and then naming those extra precautions. Like, hello, you're giving information to the enemy, dummy.
That's exactly right. And I always used to make fun of the TV show Cops because that's what they're like.
You're educating people how to do it. Hello.
What are you doing?
Morons, man. Fucking Hotel Phonics is running the countries everywhere. Like, it's just unbelievable.
It's like magicians sitting on stage in front of fucking 10,000 people at a time saying, well, this is how you do this trick. This is how you do that trick. And then they tell you, and they tell you. It's like,
stop yourself. What are you doing? Like,
it's vanity.
And then it makes me question them. It's like, why are you doing that? You are corrupt. You are, you know, like, I mean,
it's vanity and narcissism from either the leaders of the agency or whatever, saying like, well, we want to show you what we can do and blah, blah, blah. You're fucking dumb. Like, stop.
Yeah, you are.
you know, you're
Yeah.
called the Secret Service for a fucking reason, aren't you?
Yeah. I know a lot of guys that I've started following because of YouTube that are former alphabet agency, high ups and stuff. And like the stories that they tell you once they're free and clear and are allowed to speak is like the world needs more of you people. And I don't want to bring out like their name. You would know, we would talk in private and I know you'd know most of
Mhm.
them, if not all of them.
Mhm.
And it's like, this is awesome. Like I would pick their brains forever and be like, hey, what about this? What about that? Like, I mean,
Mhm.
you know, because it's like the only way that you're going to have a logical conversation about the inside of inner workings of stuff, right? Like,
Mhm.
so that's kind of interesting to me, but
All right.
yeah.
Carol asks, I want to know why anybody hasn't been fired. Well, I can tell you why. Because the basically their HR, the federal HR, has their own sets of guidelines as well as different agencies. They're all different.
Yes.
So they've assured us that certain Secret Service personnel are being disciplined, but they
Mhm.
are unable to tell us by federal mandate what those exact I call
What
them
that
punishments
is. Yeah.
are, what's
Yeah.
actually going on.
Yeah.
They just and they're not gonna
You know
they're
what they
not.
do here? They play it off. They use those people as useful idiots, and
Mhm.
then what they'll do is terminate them immediately afterwards.
Mhm.
And it's like they won't come out and say like this is why, but we know what's going on, right? And then the next stool pigeon comes along, is like, I'll take their job, because I'll be different. I won't do the same thing. And it's like 2 years later, they're doing the same thing. Like, and
Now,
we're talking about very high up people that,
now, in all due, I have to be fairness because in all due
Mhm.
fairness,
Yeah. Mhm.
the Secret Service is limited in their resources, and they consistently do request more staffing, more manpower, woman power, more
Mhm.
funding, things like that, and they're consistently denied. When they start going internally, it gets denied internally, and when they start doing it congressionally, it gets denied a lot of times too. So
Yeah.
the leadership of the Secret Service, I know this for a fact, they
Mhm.
do struggle. Why do you think
Mm.
there's so many task forces within federal agencies? ATF, DEA, Secret Service that I was on, like all these alphabet agencies, they have secret services with state and county and local law enforcement because that brings in more resources to the federal side. So they get sworn in as federal officers, like I was, a special deputy U.S. Marshal, put
Mhm.
on a task force, my case, the Secret Service, because it's basically free. It's free help to them from other agencies. They don't have to put in for the expenditures and, you
Yeah, and
know,
plausible deniability, right? Because then they can say, well, it was lack of communication because they're Secret Service and we're, FBI and we don't talk. Like, you know what I mean?
they okay, they all do talk, but doesn't mean they all get along. You know what I
Right.
mean?
That's what I meant to say. Yes,
There,
correct.
there's arguments at the fence, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like
Yeah,
two
it
dogs
does. Yeah,
barking,
it does.
one on
Yeah,
each side of the fence, barking at
yeah,
each other. That's what
yeah,
happens.
yeah,
Territorial kind of thing, but
yeah.
that's a real thing. But yeah, so they get away with, or they've been getting away with these task forces, all like I said, all these different alphabet agencies getting task forces put together under federal authority and getting state, county, and local law enforcement agencies to be part of this task force.
Yeah.
And then they don't have to pay for them. Like it doesn't come out of their budget or federal funding or approved. Like they're already approved to have these task forces. So it
Right.
doesn't it costs the taxpayers money wherever these state, county, and local cops come from, because when they're on the federal task force, they're not in their state, county, or local areas doing police stuff. They're working with the feds on the
Right.
agency.
Yeah.
So it's a benefit to them, but not for where the cop came from. So
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and see, like one thing I've learned in Canada is like, I mean, the expectations out of a normal peasant like myself are higher than these so-called elites. And it's like, if I did what they were doing in the open, my management would fire me and it would be common knowledge. And,
Mhm.
because these people are, protected by these bullshit repellent shields, they will not come out and say, okay, like you're guilty of treason, this, genocide, blah, blah, all these other fancy words. but they will say like, you know, they'll push it as something else. So like, I guess maybe I don't know how to compare it, but like you can't get them on the big thing, but you'll get them where you can, sort of thing. And then they'll just run with it and say that was the reason why, when we all know what the reason why was, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And
it's mental.
it's just all but and
I
now
hate corruption and I hate hypocrisy. That's why this shit doesn't sit right with me. That's why.
the problem with the Secret Service now is, and I went through, not only did I work on it, I went through training and stuff with them and different things, not protective detail stuff.
Mhm.
But like things have changed so much now, and like they just finally said, well, we can't do cookie cutter stuff anymore with protection. Well, they can't, and they never should have.
Yeah.
But they got lazy. When you start putting DHS agents in with Secret Service for a presidential protection detail, which is what they've been doing, then they're like, yeah, they're not trained the same. And I'm
Yeah,
not
no.
saying DHS is low trained. They are hardly trained, but they're not trained the same way. They're not trained with the same specialties.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, today you're go put on a suit and you have
Today
to
you're
wear.
a crossing guard, tomorrow you're the president's, you know,
Yeah,
sniper.
yeah. You have to put this pin on your suit and go. You go. Here's your Secret Service liaison that you're going to be working with for this whatever detail. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So, and they've proven that because it failed.
Yeah. Miserably. Like I couldn't do as bad a job as these people are doing ever. Like, oh my God. But I have way too much self-awareness, right? Like I'll call myself out and be like, no, right? Like, I mean, these people, like they're the opposite. They'll deny everything at all costs. And it's like, do you believe yourself? Because if you believe yourself, that's pathological. Like, you know that you are borderline serial killer, right? Like, I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah. But this country's in trouble right now. It's been in trouble over the last, over 3.5
We're all in
years.
trouble, all of us, the whole world. And as
And
soon as
all
one pops off, everyone's popping off. It's gonna go mayhem, and it's
I'm
kind of
just
scary.
I'm just hoping it changes for the better in November, but we'll find out, I guess.
I don't know. Isn't there a saying that it always gets worse before it gets better? Like how much worse can it get? And then that's when someone says, "Hold my beer and watch this."
The worst it can get now is World
Nuclear.
War III.
Yeah, nuclear. That's how it can get worse.
Right. So but
I don't know.
that's all right.
Yeah. I try not to think about it too much, but I mean, I am a realist, right? So it's like, what's the quickest way to make this over? Like, I don't know.
I am too. I'm,
I know that's why it's like you can prepare, but if they're setting off nuclear shit, I don't want to be the crypt keeper. Like I'm not gonna rebuild society. I'm not Eve. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm in the triangle of death where I live.
I know you are. You should be getting out of there.
And well, that's the thing. If it actually happens, I'll have time to
Yeah, you will
go. So that's not really my big concern.
No,
it's the fact that there's going to be a few that get through our defense systems, and where are they going to end up? No one knows. Not even our brilliant military and our.
At least you have a military, man. We don't. We got fucking soy boys running around with rainbows on their backs.
Your special forces are pretty fucking awesome, honestly. But
they used to be.
No, they're still well renowned and respected.
I hope so, because to us they look like woke jokes, right? Like all the good ones left when they couldn't take something,
I know of one that got really pissed off with Canada, and
only one.
He went public about it and got like his pee got slapped a couple of times, and now he's like, "Fuck you."
Who's that? Sean Ryan?
No, Sean Ryan was a U.S. Navy SEAL.
Oh, who's the one you're talking about?
I'm not gonna. It's none of my
business. Okay, that's fine.
Because you're.
I didn't know if it was. Yeah, I didn't know if it was secret because he said he spoke out about it. So I was like, okay.
He has, but he still gets heat and he doesn't need it. But he's awesome. The Canadian Special Forces community is very well respected in the American Special Forces community, and they've worked well together in different
that's good.
theaters of war, different like Afghanistan, Iraq, things like, and other places. But they've worked very well together, and they're well trained.
Yeah.
Their attitude is awesome, and they know what they're doing, and they have a team ideology, team concept. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I feel sorry for a lot of the vets here because you hear the horror stories and it's just like, I'm sorry that they lied to you and you didn't know why you were going in and you thought one thing and you find out it's something different. And there's only so much that's the closest way I can come to saying it without saying it out. And I mean, they'll tell you, and they have, you know what I mean? And it's not right when you find out really. Sometimes truth is not always fun to have or know. You know what I mean? Like, because it's not always good information. You know what I'm saying? So
I
you
do know
try.
I do know to an extent, because there's been plenty of situations where I or a team has been called in, and what happens isn't how it was described or supposed
Yeah.
to be. But that's why you plan, you have A, B, and C. Well, if this information isn't right, then
Yeah, but when you're a young soldier just enlisting and thinking like you're going out to save the world and this is the cause and this is what we're going for, and then you find out that it's really because of
oh, in
GDP
that case, yeah. I thought you were
and
talking about you're talking about special forces still. Sorry.
no.
Yeah, no,
I'm
you're right.
yeah, and you find out that it's for,
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
opium, then you might have a different feeling about things, right? You know what I mean? Because you come home with scars from that shit and then you find out the truth and it's like, oh my God, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they didn't know. Like they were doing the right thing, and I've seen a lot of them beat themselves up and it's like, dude, you did what you thought was right. You went and fought for your country based on what you believed at the time to be truthful information, and whatever happened that you weren't aware of is not your fault. So you can't carry that. Like, you
And
know what I mean?
and I've made it clear I've never been in the military. I went to military school,
Yeah.
but
I'm surprised I wasn't.
but when I speak of like special forces, special operations community, things like that, I'm
Mhm.
talking about from a perspective, from a enforcement perspective, like SWAT, special weapons and tactics, your emergency response team, that type of thing.
Yeah.
That I'm experiencing, because that's like not that's above your normal street cop type of
Right.
training, equipment, and planning and preparing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's all I'm associating with. I cannot speak for military, special forces, special ops, things like that. They call it spec ops, whatever. I can only speak from the civilians law enforcement side, but that it's kind of the same principle. Actually,
It
very
is.
principle.
And when you hear their stories, it's fucking heartbreaking. And just like, because I know what they struggle with, we both do. And it's like, dude, you can't carry that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's horror stories that, and YouTube wouldn't even allow me to repeat what's been said, and that's a conversation we could have in private. But I mean, it's like when you really get down to all of the meat and potatoes of what everything is and not this dressed up bullshit story that you've been sold and believed.
Right.
And when you find out that the wrapping of that present comes off and it's really nothing what you thought, yeah, you're gonna feel some type of way about it. You know what I mean? But then when you know that that's what it is, you don't let those motherfuckers win, right?
I can tell you, like, from personal experience, professional experience, I had two, and you cannot call them former Navy SEALs. Once you're a Navy SEAL, you're always a SEAL,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
Right.
But I worked with two of them, and one was a street level cop, the other one was a supervisor, and they would come in and they train us on certain things. Like, we'd have actually training periods, and we had our own academy instructors and stuff, but because they were, we actually had three on the department at the same time, but there was two that I directly worked with, and they would train us on certain things. But again, that goes back to teaching above and beyond what, like, a normal soldier would do, a normal police officer would do, their capabilities and training and things like that. And like you were talking about, like, okay, so you get this 18-year-old fresh out of high school or 17-year-old and they sign, they sign the papers, you're going to boot camp on this date,
Yeah.
and they don't know what they're walking into.
No. young, naive, and believe everything they've been told. And then they get there and, you know, sometimes they find out something right away, sometimes they don't. Like, I mean, but eventually it comes out, and to hear their stories, like I've cried with them listening, and it's fucking heartbreaking. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? And I know that pain, like you can't carry that with you, like, you know, and
Yep.
that's why they Jeremy McKenzie, you know, he's the one that told me the saying, nobody gets on the truck, right? Like, I mean, you go in as a team, you leave as a team, right? Like, I mean, and like, don't give in, and don't eliminate yourself off this planet because of shit that you were fed to believe, and you did it unknowingly. Like, I mean, and guys are not, they can't live with that on a moral level, and I totally understand that, but like, don't let those
Right.
motherfuckers win.
Right.
You know what I mean? You didn't do it on purpose. You didn't go knowing and doing it on purpose. Some people do that shit on purpose and sit proudly in jail and have no guilt. So why
Right.
should you, as a good person, feel bad about yourself because you did something you thought was right and found out it wasn't? You know what I mean? So compare it like that. I mean, you got to rationalize the irrational sometimes. Like,
A lot of times, and hopefully it continues into the future. And I can't speak for military, although I do know it happens there, but I can speak for law enforcement side. A lot of the trained, experienced operators will try to coach. Like, there's a hazing period. Don't get me wrong. There's
yeah,
hazing and all
yeah,
this shit going on.
yeah.
Once you've earned your right to
Straight
be
sort of
part
thing.
of
Yeah.
it, right? The older, more
Mhm.
experienced people will like kind of like guide you in the right direction.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that in time before that good old PTSD sets in, right? And you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
Well,
God love them, but they're not.
a lot of those old guys do already have that, and
No, I
girls.
mean, to the younger ones, go to the younger ones and coach them. I believe that absolutely 100% happens. What I'm saying is it's not in time for that young person that you know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying, and I'm glad that they do that,
No,
but it's not done in enough time to save somebody else from joining
no,
a
they're
club
not.
they don't want to be a part of. You know what I mean?
No, they're not. They're not going to do that because when you're in a active state, when you're in an active state of,
You get in
oh
trouble.
God, that critical state of thinking, planning,
Yeah.
acting, operating, things like that, you're not thinking. The PTSD comes later.
Oh yeah, and even when you know you have it, you're like, what does it mean? What does that mean, really?
Right.
Takes you
I,
years to figure it out. Trust me on that one.
right. I had daymares. I was
I
be
know,
standing in my shop, and next thing you know, I'm crying.
I know, dude. I'm
And
telling
I'm
you,
reliving
EMDR is a
from,
fucking lifesaver. Okay, it's a game changer. You told me that before, and I finally listened. And
yeah,
new person, like, oh, you know what I mean? I,
yeah. It's sanity. It's freeing.
it's it's clarity, and
Mhm.
then it's like, wait a minute, why did it take me so long to understand the most simple principle? It's I don't know, like, it's just like,
It
yeah.
took it took my when I was a detective, one of my partners, he was going through this is of course many years later. He took literally almost 2 years to convince me
Mm-hmm.
to
You
take
don't
that.
even want to know how many years for me, but yep.
But when you find yourself like I'm sitting or standing, you know, and all of a sudden I'm doing nothing, like nothing related to the job or whatever I was assigned to or whatever. And I'm reliving shit in my head, like I'm having a recurring incident that happens, but I'm not
Hmm.
thinking about it. Like it
I
just
know,
all of a sudden,
I know.
boom, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
Like I'm tired of it. And
I
that's
know,
what him breaking my balls and pushing me, and then me getting tired of dealing with the shit is what made me address it. And I didn't recognize it. I was diagnosed with it, kind of
yeah,
thing. I didn't
same,
know. I
but
didn't know.
didn't know really what that meant. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, now what?
I'd heard about it and stuff. Like I don't.
And then their solution is take these pills. Well, you know what? I hate to tell you, but these pills don't fucking work. So you need to treat the wound, okay? And
Yeah.
I kept saying that from, you know, but
Yeah.
pharma's got to get in there.
Yeah, I've never been diagnosed, prescribed any meds for it. I've never
Oh,
taken
that's
any.
the first thing they do. And it's like, your pills don't work and I'm not taking them. So
No,
stop that. Okay.
yeah, no, I haven't done any meds
This
for
is
it.
this is part of the things that, like, there's a lot of stuff I've held back. And it's like, if I really just opened up and just said it all, like, people would be like, like you can't even make this shit up, like for real. And it's that bad. And it's like I'm working my nerve up to it, but I don't know the best way to do it. And I'm still trying to sort it out. But
Well,
like there's a reason why I was absolutely so offended by everything that I had seen. And once you hear the details, then a lot of things are going to become clear to people that they didn't understand before. But you know,
it's all on your time, and that's what one of the things that like.
yeah,
It's you're not in any rush to
no,
overthink or discuss
no,
things with anybody. It's you have to
no.
deal with
No, but
yourself.
I don't want to, like, I want to come from a place of like, this is how bad it took.
Mhm.
And now you people that refuse to listen, you're going to listen because
Right.
like this doesn't need to happen. And I'm lucky that I made it through, but how many people didn't? And I
Mhm.
barely made it through. Okay. You know that. A lot of people know that, you know, but it shouldn't have been that bad, and it shouldn't have been as long, and it shouldn't have like. And I got no help from any of them. They didn't ever talk about what you do for it.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? I found out about EMDR through YouTube, and then I asked you about it.
Mhm.
Like, I nobody ever talks about what you do about it, and it's just like it's that one of those dirty little secrets that nobody wants to talk about. Well, we need to talk about it, and we need to raise awareness because if they knew how much of an internal struggle that people were having because of something that wasn't even their fucking fault,
Mhm.
then you need to listen. Like it's important. It could save somebody's life for real.
The
So
o- and for anybody that's watching this or knows somebody that's might need to be kind of pushed towards this EMDR, it's something I don't want to say new, but it's sort of new-ish, and it actually kind of forces you to relive uh, some of the things that are bothering you, but they're addressed directly and in depth. It's not just like, well, just tell me what happened. That's not how it works.
mine did it the opposite way though. We didn't start with the most recent. We started with the oldest. Did they do
Well,
that
no,
with
no, no.
you?
I'm not saying the most recent. I'm just saying
No,
like
but did they do that? Is that how they started it with you? You go back to the first thing and then you
no.
talk about different things and
So I was asked to create a list to write down things that I recalled, like if I'm having a daymare or a
yeah.
nightmare, what do I
Intrusive
recall?
thoughts. What is it? What's on your mind? Yes.
Right. What and just to write them down.
Yeah.
And then it's given to the psychiatrist, psychologist, the therapist, whoever, depending on where you go.
Hmm.
And then they go down and then they ask, well, what do you want to talk about first? I've read through all this, and what's bothering you the most? Or
Hmm.
what just creeps up on you, which is really
Hmm.
what it is. What
Yeah.
creeps up on you the most?
Hmm.
Because it's always unexpected.
Oh
What
yeah.
creeps up on
100%.
you the most? And that's where they'll start, and they can do from the beginning to the end or
Well,
early.
see, that's what the way it happened. Like, I don't know, because I only really ever had one treatment of it, and that was all I really needed was just to be like, I get it now. You know what I mean? But I still need to continue it. But now I find myself stopping to think, where before it'd be like, oh yeah, well, fuck you, yeah, go off at the mouth, and now it's like, well, maybe don't do that, like
No, I,
so.
I can dig it. I did it for months, and basically by the end, I was like, I'm not having the daymares. I'm not like
Quality of life is from 0 to
nightmare,
100 different. You know what I mean?
right? And
Yeah.
she, my I said, so she was like, you probably don't need to do this anymore, but if you want to, we can. It's just
I'll
gonna
keep taking your money if you want, but
right.
you're good now. Like,
But
you
she
know.
was honest. But she was honest about it, and she's like,
Yeah.
"You probably don't." I'm like, "Well, I feel pretty fucking good, and I'm not
So do
having."
I, and it's weird. Like, and then I didn't realize that was. I watched somebody else that I know struggled, and now has recently come out the other side, and they were talking about it, talking to someone, and they were asking how things were going, and like he was like, "Good," but he had like the same look I had on my face, like confusion, like, "Is this real? Like, what's going on?" You know what I mean? Like, is this like, am I getting punked? Like, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Okay, good." I needed to see that reaction to know that that was normal for me because I was like walking around waiting for like something to come out of the sky. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what, but it's like, and then it didn't happen. And I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. Like, whatever she did, I don't know what she did, but she fixed me. And I
It
was
was like,
not a non-believer. Like,
aliens landing in Las Vegas.
yeah, something. It was so bizarre. And it's like, oh my God. Like now I see and feel the difference in myself. Like, and people like are not scared of me anymore. In fact, they like come and want to talk to me all the time now, and that's different. And like it's funny. Like I don't scare grown men, children, and kids everywhere around the world anymore. Like it's a good thing. But yeah, I like it. Well, it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just, I guess, when like she just kept saying to me, when you were ready, and it's like, no, bitch, I've been ready for years. I didn't know how to do it. Like, you know what I mean? But then I realized like this isn't even my burden to bear, carry anymore. Like it never was. You know what I mean? But I took it. Like why? Like it doesn't make sense. I'm not taking it anymore.
My whole thing is, and I accepted, and I talked about it and stuff. Like when I got into the job, I knew it was going to be stressful and dangerous and stuff like that. And then, I compounded it doing exactly half the time concurrently. So I did law enforcement and fire rescue EMS. I did
Yeah.
law enforcement 30 years and 15 years of fire rescue EMS, volunteer, of course, at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't help.
No, because you're getting trauma every which way. You know what I mean?
And not just the mind, but also the body, because
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a big thing. Like
like
I lived in that in fight or flight mode. I lived that for years. It's not living; it's surviving.
and
And there's a very distinctive difference.
the psychological and the physical injuries over all the years, it's like
The anger, the temper, all of the things that people didn't understand. It's like I got it now. You know. But I mean, and I knew it all along. That was the problem. Like it's not that I didn't know any of this. It's just I needed to find my way. I guess I don't know, but I did. And now I'm going to show others that you can do it too. Like, you don't need to accept this shit.
You're right. It's pass on the good word and encourage someone like was done to me. Encourage someone to
because you don't know who watches, who struggles in silence, because it's not something that people openly talk about. It took me a long time to talk about it openly. Now it's like I don't have any shame because it wasn't my fucking fault. It wasn't my choice. And this is what happened. And this is what I did about it to gain control over my life. And now I'm glad I didn't fucking, get on the truck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can dig it.
So you just never know who comes across these videos, and that's why I believe, like once I do get it out and I'm working up to that, like people are gonna look at me in a whole different light. And even myself now, like I realize now how strong I was, where before I was like, this isn't strong, this is like a cruel punishment. Like, no, it was strength. I just didn't know it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now I do, and now I know a better way, and when you know better, you do better. Right?
Yeah. So but I'll get off here. I want to I'd love to see people in the comments. There's 4 watching now though. So
yeah, I'm sitting outside, my phone's dying anyways, and my hands are freaking numb, so I'm gonna call it a night. But thanks for coming on. I'm glad I caught up with you. I haven't talked to him a bit.
Yeah.
So don't be a stranger, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there's one for you, Mr. Smith. Yeah. Okay.
All right, Kim. Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you.
Okay. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for coming on. Thank you for hanging out with me and listening to me fucking ramble. Sorry I couldn't see the comments. It's my hands are numb because they're a little bit chilly. But I'll go back and watch them later if I can. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. Stay tuned. There's a lot more stories to come out that I've never talked about before, and I feel like now is the time. And I want to help others before it's too late. It's never too late. I thought it was almost too late for me, but I'm living proof. So is Mr. Smith. So is a million other guys we know. So don't take on other people's shit. Don't let fucking psychopaths in the world tell you what reality is when you know damn well what it is. Don't let them fuck with your head. They don't get to do that to you. Okay? So if the only thing that keeps you here is that you're stubborn like I was, let that be the reason. Because one day it's going to pay off and you're going to understand everything and it's just going to all fit like a puzzle. So that's my words of wisdom for today. I'm going in to charge my phone, warm up my hands, and pet my dog. If you're not following me on Instagram, I've been doing a lot of lives on there lately. It's kind of fun sometimes. But anyways, I gotta go because my hands are frozen. Talk to you soon. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for coming on. I apologize that I didn't get to see the comments, but I will talk with you guys soon. Peace out, my bitches.